Hey, I'm Aaron. I'm one of the founders of Deliver That.
I'm John, other co-founder of Deliver That. Welcome to the Founder Series.
Founders for life. I think there's a huge opportunity where it's like you're a mix between a lifestyle / could you be like a restaurant type takeout business / could you, like, what else could you guys be doing? I mean, it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it for sure.
And then the interest in catering and how this intersects with what we do.
Right.
Right, with catering.
No, I think it's an amazing mix. A little bit initially, obviously, but as we put up more pure fixes, that model is going to be tremendous, and especially it being a cold pressed juice concept. Sooner than later, we need to get a warehouse. We need to mass produce cold pressed juice, and with that could be the catering model kind of plugged into the whole brand. And it could be
Easily.
Do you remember, John, when we did like route-based juice delivery? Dude, we did. Dude,
Yep.
This is a huge.
Yep.
Yeah, like, all right, we're gonna cut that brand out.
That's all right.
Yeah, but there's a couple brands we could show you like their model, because we've done these deliveries where I'm talking about they're shipping out, or they're not shipping out, but they're doing, direct to consumer, but from their warehouse or wherever they produce it with our drivers to their consumer.
Yep.
And
You do a route all
you're
around
dealing
Cleveland.
with like you're talking about 30 juices, on a weekly delivery.
Well, it could be huge. Our first corporate account, if you will, a guy lives in a building, stopped in, director of a financial firm downtown. They started buying 60 for all their employees every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
it's the health and wellness kick, essentially. That's just one of the baseline items for it.
Yeah.
Companies want their employees to be healthy and more productive and so on and so forth. So, as simple as a cold pressed juice once a day, promoted and paid for by the employer, is huge. It's such an easy way in.
Do you have like a specific pitch on like why, like for example, if you're going to go approach a company and say, hey, listen, your employees are this much more productive when they have my juice?
Yeah.
That sounds a little weird, but
the juice alone is not going to do anything, but it's going to get people feeling like they're moving into a healthier lifestyle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That could promote them to do a lot of other things, which we fortunately, have the benefit of offering. A lot of companies are coming in for what they would typically take their team or their group out to a bar or restaurants, and then the next day, sure, they had some fun, but everyone feels like crap, and what's the productive point of it other than they all got to hang out a little bit? Our little corporate retreats, there could be 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people. They can come in, they can do a team building exercise, they could do something together, sound bath, yoga, Pilates, depending on the demographic of the group. But then they can all enjoy sauna, steam rooms. They can try different modalities, red lights, PMF, hydrogen inhalation. They can get IVs together, wellness shots. They could really experience something not only different, but team building, but also healthy.
Yeah. Before we get too deep.
I was like, where can I sign up at for this?
Yeah.
Jeez. It's got everything everything you need basically to just be healthy and well.
Yeah.
What are your three concepts? And I know, and you've done a lot of things in the past, and we'll get there, but these three current concepts.
So this all came to life. My partner, Jamie Fiore, who couldn't be here today, something came up at the shop, but he had the vision of Soul Space. And Soul Space is basically a wellness ecosystem, if you will. Right now, Soul Space exists on two different levels. Number one is a very multifaceted event center, which is basically for any type of event that kind of fits our character and our health and wellness ecosystem kind of temperaments. So we have yoga, Pilates, sound bath, different breathing exercises, meditations. We would rent it out to certain types of events and parties to make sure it's all, again, of the same style.
Do the Schwitz there?
The Schwitz was there
Copy
for sure.
that.
So so we
Bring
did the
some
Schwitz.
steaks in.
Yep. And the Schwitz, partners up with the other side of Soul Space, which is saunas, steam rooms, cold plunge, obviously showers, locker rooms, relaxation lounge. Within that lounge, you have various modalities. Again, red light, PMF, hydrogen inhalation, brain tap, infrared and traditional saunas. We have our med spa, which is NüIQ Wellness, which we'll get to in a moment, but the med spa will actually service clients inside a Soul Space with things like IVs and wellness shots. So essentially a group can come in there and they can do whatever on very many levels, either on a one-on-one basis or as a group or small or large. So that is Soul Space. That was Jamie's dream. And it got paused by COVID. And then we kind of got together after COVID, sparked the whole thing back up. added a concept to it called NüIQ Wellness Lounge, which is your aesthetics med spa. But the goal is to be on a higher level. Right now, we're doing all types of laser treatments, skin improvement procedures. We are doing, obviously, facials, microneedling, things like that. Also injectables, your toxins, fillers, so on and so forth. Later on, we plan to open things up into more regenerative medicine, peptides, so on and so forth, as we get more seasoned in the industry and we have those capabilities. The goal between SoulSpace and NüIQ is a client that is potentially going to NüIQ to look better should also be going to SoulSpace to feel better, and in turn look better from the inside out, and not to have to get as many facial treatments done by essentially using things like sauna and red light and so forth. Also, a client that goes to NüIQ may not be a client of SoulSpace, but a SoulSpace client may not walk into NüIQ, but the cross is there. Sure. We could always essentially introduce people from both sides.
There's obviously a blend.
That flywheel.
So it's a lot to digest, in the last 30 seconds, 2 minutes. Let's take a step back a little bit. How do you get, what is your background?
It's mainly real estate and finance.
Okay, real estate and finance. I'm a finance guy as well. Okay. And why, real estate and finance. So why the passion for health and wellness?
Personal passion to begin with. This is something I started kind of dabbling in many years ago. Starting out with just saunas and exercising, but the more the industry grew and developed into multifaceted ways to really improve your health from the inside out, the more myself and again my partners Jamie and Danielle got into as well, and we kind of grew this thing based on our own interests. But also another big component to the three spaces, John has seen, I hope you'll stop by one day, is the art feature to it. The spaces are built out on a very, very high level of decor, if you will. Our other company called Dion Arts makes light sculptures, kinetic light installations. What that is basically is actual moving chandeliers.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Very, very, very high-priced, unique stuff. So the space now has all these different components.
I need to come back up to Cleveland and just dodge the potholes and visit this.
No, it's 77 an hour up.
It's beautiful. I'll tell you a funny story why I don't go into Cleveland anymore. I popped my 8th tire in 2 years last week, leaving this man's house.
Is it Cleveland or is it the driveway?
Oh, it's definitely a combination. I'm a terrible driver.
Is it your driveway?
I mean,
I sent you a picture of my street.
I'm gonna have you.
I can imagine.
You'll put up these pictures of the potholes outside of his house. They're craters.
Cool.
It's like there's meteorites.
If this gets them fixed, I'll post whatever you need to post.
Mayor Bibbs, please.
All right.
Guys, but if you notice, us right next to the potholes are these new red brick cul-de-sacs that probably cost about 60-70 grand a piece in the intersection. So
the roundabouts?
Yes, so you would slow down before you hit the potholes.
Good.
Yep. Pump those through.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if they would have fixed those potholes, I might still be up there, you guys.
Yeah.
All right, but
lost the client.
Your experience
exactly.
with sauna culture, did that come because you're from Russia?
Correct.
Right? You were telling me there's
you're from
Yeah, I was born in Russia, moved here with my parents and grandparents back in '89 as refugees, basically escaping communist Russia. A couple years before it fell, but the sauna culture didn't start then. I was obviously too young. Everything actually kind of came around going to the Schwitz in my early 20s. But then as I started going back to Russia to visit my brother, my ex-wife and her family are from Ukraine. We're still very close. I would go visit them while we were together and not. So Russia, Ukraine, sometimes even more than once a year. And the sauna culture is tremendously wealthy there. So it was always experimenting and trying different saunas, different levels of things.
What were the types of saunas? You just drinking saunas, and there's
it's all drinking. Right? It's all drinking. But you could have just a mansion in the woods, and the whole thing is a gigantic sauna house. There's pool. There's this, that, the other.
Just waiting to be in.
They would serve you food, whatever you want. The whole place is yours. It's on a lake. The lake is freezing. This, that, the other. So
it's amazing.
And you go from the sauna just
right outside, jump in the lake.
They had that in Finland. Yeah.
Well, so the word sauna is Finnish. So basically, it's a wet banya. Banya is Russian. It's dry. Sauna, you splash water in the rocks, you create steam. It's a wet banya. But there's everything from that to downtown St. Petersburg, Russia, where I'm from. There's party saunas. It's an entire one. Really cool is an entire building, and the building it's got a nightclub on the first level, restaurant on the second level, and then it goes into basically private levels of sauna, categories you can rent out. So gigantic rooms, the size of this.
Is there like a penthouse of saunas? You can like run a
pretty
penthouse
much,
sauna?
yeah. They're different themes. It's like a couple $100 an hour. You can get 10 people in there, and you could just have the place for the night. And they bring you food, drinks, whatever you want.
That's
nothing closes.
So I have a sauna in my home.
Yeah.
And yesterday, John came over. He lifted in my house, and yesterday was the first time I've ever had a beer in a sauna.
Yeah.
I might do it every time now.
That's pretty.
It was incredible.
So the tradition is you're not supposed to drink hard liquor after sauna because you relax, your heart rate's up. There's all those different, but people do anyway. But the Russian culture essentially is you sauna several times, 15 minutes at a time. Obviously, cold shower, plunge if you have one, and then afterwards you would drink a couple beers, easing into the vodka. There's a baby step.
Is that like the playbook on how to do the Russian sauna? Like you literally 3 or 4 different sessions. Because I'm more of a kind of guy that I'm in there 25. Try to make it 25, 30 minutes. Yeah.
No, there's the traditional and the most correct way based on historical experience of the people that have been doing this. For generations is, it depends on the heat of it all. So you go to the Schwitz, that thing can get 220 degrees, right? You're in there for 5 minutes, you're cooked. But the idea is to go no more than 15 minutes per time, and then contrast therapy. If you got a cold plunge, fantastic. If not, cold shower.
Yeah, quick dip in a shower or something.
But yeah, freezing cold, as long as you could stand it. And then you chill out for a little bit, then you do it all over again.
Is there a myth? Because I've heard this. It's like if you go into a cold plunge right after a sauna, heart attack or like heart palpitation.
Well, yes, that's.
Your heart's definitely pumping.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the contrast is essentially your body basically thinks, hey, he's setting me on fire, help, right? And then he's freezing me, help again. So yeah, that's why you feel so good afterwards. Right? But no, there's. I'm not gonna say there's no danger here. I'm not a doctor, but yes. Kids,
come use my sauna,
dude. I've never heard the 15-minute 3 or 4 sessions. I've always just said just go as long as
15 minutes. It's the highest recommended dose, if you will, for persons to be in a sauna. That's what you're going to read everywhere. That's all the little clocks are. It's the whole thing. True.
Yeah, that's what the Schwitz is. It's just like a whole. You just can't keep going. You can't do 30 minutes and.
You're not. Keep going. You're going to be in there for a Schwitz on the higher steps. 5 minutes at most. It gets pretty hot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're little rocks in your sauna. The ones at the Schwitz are literally boulders.
Yeah.
In the oven.
Yeah, they're bowling balls of granite. Yeah.
Dude, it's great. This is wild, man.
Instead of little spoonfuls of water, they throw a little whole.
I just want
that 5-gallon bucket.
We usually shoot the
I
hose
just
in
want
there.
the
There's a hose on the wall.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so you're from Russia. You escaped communist Russia, well, at least before was it the Soviet Union back then?
Soviet Union.
Okay, so that obviously fell.
And how old were you when you came over?
I was 9.
9. Okay.
We won't get into that, obviously.
And you come to Cleveland.
Straight to Cleveland. So basically, as refugees, there's not any options. We're supported by the Jewish Federation, so they basically, through a green card lottery in Italy, the families would be directed and supported to go to Israel, New York, LA, or Cleveland. And it's whatever you get chosen for.
New York, LA, or Cleveland.
Right. Which, listen, now, Cleveland's a wonderful city. It's grown a lot over the years, but back then, nobody knew what Cleveland was.
Yeah, 100%.
We're coming from a country where there was 3 channels on TV. That was it.
Did you speak English originally at all?
No. We left very quickly. We had, I think, 30 days to pack up and go.
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy.
It was a risk for my parents to stay there any longer because of my dad having a business.
Yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah, he's an artist. He's a sculptor. He had his own jewelry company. And it got to the point where it's basically you got to go.
Yeah, you got to get out of here. Okay.
So we were learning, yes and no, and up to 10 in a couple of weeks, and we had to leave. Yeah.
What what school did you go to in Cleveland? Did you go?
So again, the Jewish Federation put me in Hebrew school. I think the first one was, it was Hebrew Academy in Cleveland Heights.
Right by where I still live.
Yeah, and then in Heights, and then it was Agnon, and then from there on to Brush. So.
Did you go to school in Ohio, or did you go somewhere else? Did you even go to college?
I did not. I started working really young.
Cool. Yeah. You asked me and John, I got a degree from my mom.
Yeah.
I didn't learn shit in college.
Mine was from my dad, definitely.
But I can't say I didn't learn anything. I wasn't interested.
Sure.
In going to my philosophy or psychology classes. I cared about. I was trying to make. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went to college. It wasn't to help people, which is terrible. You want to be a doctor, you want to probably help people.
Yeah, that's a unique trait of doctor. It's also a business person.
It's like
because typically doctors are the worst business people. But
but John and I started this company, and when we were sophomores, and it was quickly apparent I'm made to be in business.
And to that point, there's nothing an intelligent person can't learn in college. You can pick up anything you can, except for essentially the social connections, right?
Yeah, and like there, you know, there are some specific, you know, jobs like what my wife does. You know, clinical radiology at university hospitals. Like you have to have a specific skill set.
Yeah,
and that she's got a master's degree and all that stuff. Way book smarter than I am. But I would say, you know, when it comes to like the street smart or like being able to like make it on your own, we probably all three fit in the same bucket. Where it's like it doesn't matter if I went to school, if I became a doctor, but I was going to be successful regardless. And it sounds like you're cut from the exact same cloth.
Yeah, as I've done so much in my life with different businesses that are somewhat related, but I'll have their own paths and ways, and you pick it up in a way.
Awesome. So. You've got your. Can you say the names again of your two concepts?
So 3 concepts actually. The third one is the juice bar, but the first one is called Soul Space.
Okay.
And Soul Space is the event center plus all of the health and wellness modalities, sauna, steam, etc. NüIQ Wellness Lounge is our med spa, so aesthetics, lasers, injectables, so on and so forth. And then Pure Fix is our health bar, which is cold pressed juice, coffees, teas, wraps, bowls, health foods.
Are you thinking like this is because obviously could be numerous different types of business models for this type of business.
Yep.
Are we thinking like is your goal to have like a one, like an Amazon Prime for all 3, where it's like, hey, you pay me a monthly subscription and you get access to all these things, or like.
So there's a lot of clientele that are not for all 3 businesses, but I would put it this way: any client of Soul Space or NüIQ is a potential client of Pure Fix. Any clients of NüIQ is a potential client of Soul Space. The clients of Soul Space are, call it 50-50, a potential client of NüIQ. Based on the price points and based on gender as well. More guys go to saunas than girls. There's all different factors, but also price points and I guess knowledge of the industry, if you will. People are only warming up to saunas and cold plunges, concentrated therapy, these different things over the last few years, where med spas obviously are a little more seasoned. And also, again, 95% women go to the med spa, 80% men go to Soul Space. So there's those different facets. So to build an all-encompassing membership or weigh in is a little too much. But we do cross-collaborate quite a bit. So members of each space receive different incentives and bonuses and so on and so forth from every other space. And let's say everyone gets a juice, for example. So, yeah, there's a different way to make them all work together.
Yeah, John, why are you so, I'm going to say, obsessed with saunas? Like, what has it done for your life?
I just feel fantastic after. But it's such a good place for me to just go and think and just be away from everything. So many ideas of mine have come from the saunas.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing. So my first sauna in my house I built in my Brecksville home in 2019. And I always wanted a sauna at home. This house was just way too big, too many rooms. Okay, let's just make this thing a sauna. So did that. And, there's nothing better than working out and doing your sauna and preferably a cold plunge first thing in the morning before work. Your entire day changes. Your stress is relieved.
That's the routine for you then?
100%. And at that point, it'd be okay if I got to work 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30 was fine. So it started at 6 in the morning, then to 5:30. Now it's a lot different. Now I start at 4 in the morning. And I do my sauna no more than 10 minutes, super hot, 220, 230 if I can get it there. Workout before then, there is nothing like it. He nailed it correctly. So there's the feeling you get, the relaxation, both mentally and physically, it's incomparable.
And that stress, that pain in there, it just everything else is easy then.
Yeah.
Like would you if you're obviously we talk about drinking a beer after a sauna. Say you're trying to actually feel really good after it.
Yeah.
Not gonna buzz necessarily. Like is the correct? John drinks a lot of electrolyte drinks. Like are you drinking juices after your saunas? Like are you having a?
Well, in the morning it's water, just a lot of water. But again, it's you wake up, you got a million things on your mind. If you wake up those couple hours early and you have that chance to essentially organize your head in a very, very, relaxed and kind of segmented way, that's the way to do it. But yeah, a lot of water.
Yeah, I've always been a morning workout sauna.
Sometimes I'll do twice. I'll do an evening also.
You almost just feel better than everyone else. You're like, I killed the day.
It's cheating for sure. Yeah.
That's just you go in with this different mentality to kill the day.
Ben, do you sauna?
Obviously, you have your own sauna. I've participated in. Fit for You over here has a sauna. Planet Fitness does not. So I do and I can, but
yeah. The other thing is like the gym saunas. they say 180, they're not 180. They go to 140, 150. You could sit in there for half your day before breaking a sweat.
Except Brown's Fit. That thing's like 230.
Really?
That thing burns my head.
Okay.
There's not much up there, but
burning
my hair when I'm sitting in
They're
there.
probably just trying to light the actual Browns franchise on fire. Okay.
What, is your sauna infrared or traditional?
No, it's traditional. It's a finished one. I got a problem with the Haslam's, okay? I got a real big problem with them. I'm sorry. Are you a football guy?
No.
Good. I'm glad you don't have to share in this misery of being a Browns fan.
What happened?
What happened?
Where do I begin about what happened with the Cleveland Browns? No, but I just, for me, saunas. I grew up. My dad had a sauna in his home.
Yeah, that's where I got
really
introduced.
Nice sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Just like yours. So he had a nice room. Like he built it. I got a prefabricated one.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-person. His was like could fit.
I got a prefab in my house.
Okay.
I bought a little Wayfarer. Yeah.
So I bought like he's like, I don't know, few grand, $5,000 for maybe. But he had his whole a whole room built out in his home.
Yeah,
it
was
it's like an
really nice.
10-person sauna.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically playing sports growing up, and like that was the best recovery thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go to practice, come back, hit a sauna.
And you just couldn't find them anywhere.
No,
growing up.
I don't know. I didn't know anyone that else had one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't even know why my dad. I don't even know why he put it in the home. To be honest, I have no idea. He wasn't.
Sometimes it is a little cheat if you don't work out. You're like, hey, at least I got in the sauna.
Yeah, it's a good way to skip the workout. Yeah. Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you said you guys hit a pause during COVID. What happened? Why? Obviously, the world came to a stop.
So it was more a pause in planning, essentially. This was his idea before I was ever invited into it, but he was in the process of looking at spaces, finalizing the concept prior to COVID. Obviously, COVID put a stop on anything that's service-based, and then we partnered up in a mortgage venture about a year after COVID. And then he brought the idea and said, hey, let's do this soul space concept. And together we added the medical spa concept into it, which then pure-fixed the juice bar, and that completed the triangle.
And you have a buddy who is successful with med spas, right? So
correct.
Because I think it's an interesting jump from you can understand saunas and
no,
being
100%.
healthy. Going into that med spa world, I don't know anything.
Yeah. We do have a friend, Joe Stanizak. He owns VO Med Spa. He's helped us out a little bit here and there, just some advice, some mentorship, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's brilliant, though. Now I think about it, because you're going after, like you said, 2 demographics here with both these offerings, and then they have, there's overlap with your juice concept too. You say men, my wife. I don't know how it's possible. She doesn't even sweat in a sauna. Like I'll be pouring sweat, and she's. I'm looking over, and she's like, it's weird.
People are different. I've seen that before.
And it's like I don't understand, but she hates being, in the sauna. But like she goes and gets manicures and pedicures, and I think she spent a few $100 on her hair this last week. It's like so like I feel like women do like doing that.
Absolutely.
Have you ever, John? Have you ever had a pedicure though?
Nope.
It's life changing.
Nope.
All right.
I have.
I'm telling you right now. Like I didn't
Ben liked that question.
So I was made to get one in Ukraine.
Yeah,
15 some years ago, my ex-wife at that time, she made me do it, and I think it was like $2 with the money conversion.
Yeah, don't
amazing.
I've got a pedicure.
Don't
it's
knock
great.
$2.
You really haven't had a
I
pedicure?
haven't done it.
I've only had one. My mom made me do it because my feet were disgusting, dude.
I did it when the only time I got a pedicure, I went and visited D at Eastern. And he had practice one morning, and I got left there basically, and he had to drive me back to meet Vellucci to meet us halfway and pick me up. And I had nothing to do all day. And I just went and got a pedicure by myself.
I don't know what else to do, so I'm just gonna go do that.
That sounds like the move. When you're just bored, I guess. Not go to a bar and drink some beers or watch a game or anything. Just get a pedicure.
We could bring something in the whole space.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude.
It's not a bad thing.
Do you guys have TVs in there? Could I get a pedicure while I'm watching the Browns lose on Sunday?
Yeah, it's short answer. Yes, we'll take a little bit of setting up. It's not built for watching Browns, but yes, there's a space where there's a TV.
I'm sorry,
we
man.
could put a chair in that same space.
The Browns have put me in such a bad mood lately. I mean, they picked up Kenny Pickett yesterday.
Did they?
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Nothing's ever the answer.
I'm shocked. You've been here since '89. You're not a Browns fan.
Never got into watching sports.
Well, that's why he becomes so successful. He's not paying attention.
You're not being brought down by the Cleveland Browns.
He gets
I used
an extra day.
To watch basketball back in '90s, early 2000s, but I just lost interest.
So what are you doing like on your how do you blow off some steam? Like, do you go on runs? Like, do you hike? Like,
you definitely like cars.
Yeah, like what do you do for a hobby?
Yeah, cars are fun. It's really been this. It's been the art company and then the wellness company. It's always been something that's business related. But before COVID, before the war, I would take a lot of trips overseas and can see my family in Russia, family in Ukraine. That was a big part of it. A lot of travel. That's pretty much it.
So you're wired to build, like just naturally.
Definitely.
You don't meet many guys.
There's a lot going on too. We do development as well. I have another branch of partnerships that does modular homes. We just launched this company about 3 years ago. The city of Cleveland just awarded us a whole sector of grants to put up modular housing.
How many?
So we got 63 grants. We have to put up these homes in the next 3 years, city of Cleveland. We essentially negotiate over the lots that are city and county owned, and then they would assist us
from the land bank.
Correct. They would assist us with essentially building the property, and to be sold in a low-income housing category, which is under $300,000.
Oh yeah.
And they would assist us with the gap to make sure we don't lose money on it.
Wow.
And then Cleveland Heights is doing the same thing with us right now, so that's another thing that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so like you sound a lot like John, where it's like you guys just really enjoy building, like thoroughly. Like for me, I have a tremendous amount of passion in what I do here at Deliver That's because I feel like me and John started it. This is all I've ever done since I've been 19. But if I wasn't doing this right now, I'd probably be like in the golf industry or something, or like you know fitting golf clubs or whatever. Like my end game, man, to be honest, is like just provide from start a family, provide for my family. Like, do you guys? I feel like John, you can ping pong off this. Like, what internally drives you guys? Like, because this is because I have met more individuals like John and like it's Ilya, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and like Ilya in Cleveland than I have met anywhere else. Where it's like there is just this inner drive, and I don't know how to describe it. Besides, you guys just want to build, and you're motivated by building.
I know I get a little. If I'm not pushing for more, like making more money, I get stressed. So it lowers my stress to do more. Like I worry that I'm not doing enough. I think that's a big piece of it.
But John, what is what's your end game? Is it $1? Like, do you want to make $1 billion? Like what are you looking to do?
I don't have a figure. Now it's more just I want to make an impact of where I live. I see all these shitty buildings all around Cleveland, and I think you can make a real impact. And then I see their business. I'm like, they're making a real impact in Cleveland.
Anyone that wants to promote health and wellness in today's culture should be given a round of applause, to be honest, because there's not enough of that. When you have fast food around every corner, and like there's some of our clients, by the way, it's like I'm not knocking them, but it's like
that is what it is.
You need to promote health and wellness. People need to feel better. They need to take care of their bodies. Like it's our vessel. We live in these bodies. It's like, why would you not want to take care of it?
But for sure, so in everything we do, all of us, it's all sales based on some level or another. This is a way to essentially sell a product or a system rather that is great on all different aspects. It's not something that's overpriced. It's not something that's unaffordable, and it's definitely something that actually helps you and doesn't give you something that's unnecessary. Everything is needed, wanted, so on and so forth. The driving factor, I mean, there's a responsibility and success, if you would say, or rather responsibility of progress, which is a driving factor overall. Call that passion, call that whatever you will, but that's really it. We start something, we have to, I wouldn't say finish it because the businesses always grow, but the responsibility of the next step and carry it on correctly and building onto it and, fulfilling its needs.
So almost like, you need to sink your teeth in a new problem regularly. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
The new problem is going to sink its teeth in you. But,
but good way to put it, man. Honestly.
No,
see what I'm talking about? They're just different, man.
Yeah, you got to find the next turn, the next road, if you will, and sink your teeth into that. And instead just taking it where it needs to go. Businesses die because they're not innovative, they're not progressive. But the responsibility, the passion is to always be on top of or stay ahead of where it could go next.
I love the quote by Steve Jobs, like, we have no respect for the status quo. And I feel like the most innovative companies don't get complacent. They don't care about what has worked or what is working. It's like they want to innovate.
Yeah, for sure.
In every capacity.
Yeah. And you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes, and you got to do it.
Absolutely. So, 3 to 5 years from now, like what are we doing? Are
Well-
we a national
So it's
player?
we do want to franchise, but we want to keep a corporate model. So essentially, we do want obviously partners that are going to be operating partners within these spaces because we can't do it all. But we're not trying to go the street franchise model where there's no control over quality. This is a very unique trifecta, and the customer experience has to be kept very, very close in its quality. And also, these are not pop-ups where they can exist 15 minutes away from each other. This concept, this trifecta, is a destination where the juice bar on its own can and will be franchised and hopefully exist in multiple locations within one city. Soul Space is an east and west, maybe south type concept depending on the city's demographic. Cleveland, for example, Canton was one thing we wanted to look at. Aurora is another option.
Canton would be perfect.
Right here in Belton,
Oh.
you have
Yeah.
all these little surround.
You just heard him say. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah. There's a few Met spots, but nothing like this. And the demo's there, the populations, everything's there for it. So that's definitely an option. Columbus, we're looking at as well for next steps. But anything we do, we'd like to have an operating, managing partner, but we'd like to keep a corporate control over it just to make sure that the concept stays correct.
So more like Chick-fil-A,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Probably-
they have the corporate has a big hand in how you do it, and all the franchisees. It's cheap to buy a franchise.
Yeah.
Last I heard, it was $10,000. It's just
you
a
want the
mile
best
long.
But
entrepreneurs.
I think they hire from, or rather they accelerate from within. I think you have to work their
They have a
manager.
super heavy hand, and he's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
allowed to franchise the
Yeah, I
concept.
think you have to be
Absolutely.
a manager for a number of months, if
you
not
definitely have
years.
to involve Chick-fil-A to get a franchise
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, because I remember Mr. Pugh talking.
They ain't handing them
talking
out
about-
anymore like they used to.
No, definitely
Right.
not. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't make a sandwich that good by handing them out.
With 250. Oh.
You will not believe this. I've never had one. Every single time I try, the line is so damn long. I just give
Yeah,
up.
the triple wraparound.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
What?
if it comes up to me naturally when I'm ordering something, it just doesn't. So I drive past it and I'm like, shit, this time it's going to happen.
All
And I
right.
get there and the drive-through lines are around the corner.
Is
I'll
this
make
like
you,
stuff I
I'll
would
make you a
say?
deal. All right. We get a penthouse sauna somewhere, Chick-fil-A catering.
Can you guys just send a driver out? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Like Chick-fil-A in the sauna. It has to happen.
All right. Done.
We'll wash it down with some beers and hopefully vodka afterwards.
Wash it down.
Done.
What's your favorite vodka drink?
I mean, vodka, soda, vodka, water as far as drink. Favorite vodka in general, Beluga has an amazing vodka.
Beluga.
Yeah.
I'm a martini guy.
Dirty martini, sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Espresso
Love
martini.
that. Yeah, Beluga,
Yeah.
it's almost like a tasteless vodka.
Really?
It's like 160, 180 bucks a
Tasteless
bottle.
vodka.
Yeah,
Holy
nearly.
shit. Good luck.
Yeah, cold enough. Yeah.
You guys are different from over there, man. I'll tell you right now. Vodka is probably just the number one drink. Is that like the liquor of choice? You're gonna have something?
You know what? These days it's been beer.
That's it. Same here, man. Actually, like I'm like
Just the last, I think, few months, I really got into everything we're doing, obviously. But I started doing a lot of peptides.
what is a peptide, by the way?
It's an amino acid, so we all have them. As we get older, we stop producing. We start producing less and less of them. You're essentially just kind of resetting your body in a very, very vague way of explaining it. There's all kinds. You could buy them online at a lot of different websites. Some are good, some are bad. But the idea is you're essentially getting your body back to its younger state. And I do a lot of different things, try out a lot of things. It's pretty cool stuff. But with that, I feel so good. I'd rather not have a hangover. So a couple of beers and
Yeah, I've been drinking these like quadruple imperial IPAs.
Yeah.
These like 15% beers.
yeah,
You have one and you're on your ass, man. One of those after a sauna, you're feeling
yeah.
good.
And I like light beers. I like any kind of pilsner. Yeah.
To each his own. But yeah, so you guys have you have a corporate slash franchise model. The right operator would probably thrive in this business.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right there has to be multiple operators. This is not a single member model by any means. So there's myself and Jamie, Danielle Mink. She basically is the president and runs our med spa. Jamie and I handle essentially operations and back end for all three companies, making sure things work. But everybody wears a lot of hats. So by all means, to replicate this, it's not a one partner somewhere.
Yeah.
Off somewhere doing it. It's got to be a team.
What are some of your main challenges right now? So this launched August.
So it launched in 3 phases. The med spa was middle of September. Juice bar a month later, middle of October, and Soul Space was November 18th. Our growth has been phenomenal. Our opening numbers with the Med Spa were much better than expected, being that we kind of were new to it, number one. Obviously, our nurses are seasoned, licensed, so on and so forth. But we've never ran a med spa. We've had a lot of supports in the back end as far as advisors, et cetera. But coming out of the gate, much better than expected. Growth has been exponential. Soul Space's numbers almost triplicated in the first 4 months.
Amazing.
So challenges, typical business stuff. The heater breaks, the steamer doesn't steam, that kind of stuff. Surprisingly, not a lot of employee-based challenges.
It seems like it's more of a fun, interesting place to be. It's new.
It's a very, very thought-after place to work.
Yeah.
Anytime we put up an ad for anything, there's a line out the door.
That's awesome.
I mean, you figure first of all, if you work at Soul Space, you're going to get to use all this stuff for free, and that's a value of $400 or $500 a month right there.
Yep.
You guys need some content done by chance?
Yeah.
We know a guy.
We need another part-time employee.
Could work the Mets. No, so our buddy Quinn, his girlfriend, she's an RN. She works at a med spa too on the side.
Oh, she does.
Loves it.
Yep.
Loves it.
Yep.
No,
But
yeah,
that versus a hospital.
Oh, for sure,
right?
yeah.
I think she has like 2 days at the hospital and like a couple days at the
Sure,
med spa.
but that's what you're comparing.
Yeah. In the medical field, working in a hospital, essentially people are coming when they're hurt or sick or worse, versus people are coming in and they're happy and they're leaving happier. Right.
Proactive coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I almost completely forgot about this. Like our, health and wellness delivery management company / delivery courier type model. Like, let's talk about how our industries are starting to now overlap a little bit. Your juice concept.
Yeah.
How do you guys, what is your view on delivery there? Are you guys offering delivery?
Sure. So we just set up and are now fully rolling with Uber Eats and DoorDash. I believe it actually goes through Toast. I'm not involved too much in the back end of the juice bar, but I'm pretty sure that's the concept. Our own delivery within the apartment building we're in called the Wellian, super high-end health and wellness type apartment complex, 127 units. We deliver in room, so to speak. So essentially they can go on our site, click, order. Our guys will bring it up right to the apartments.
That's great.
But yeah, other than that, it's just been individual orders on a Uber Eats and DoorDash base. I think catering would be a great mix into it with your guys' expertise and support.
Bingo.
I think we can definitely launch something there. Next steps in Pure Fix are going to be a couple more locations, and once the juice sales are an adequate level, I think a warehouse style juice production center is in order, where we could essentially produce on a massive scale cold pressed juice to support not only the 3 or 4 or 5 individual locations, but also, like we talked earlier, on a corporate level to deliver, on an employee grand base. But with that, we can do catering as well.
Yeah, I mean, the definition of catering, I feel like, has yet to be really defined by anyone. You talk to me, you talk to John, you talk to Ben, talk to a restaurant, talk to a tech company, a marketplace like DoorDash or the catering one, Easy Cater, which we can definitely plug you into. We all have different definitions of catering. But what I can tell you is that, there is a massive, massive, massive opportunity to feed, more than one individual at one time.
Yep.
Sure.
In a pre-scheduled type manner. And I'm just thinking about the juice as
That's
well.
a perfect way to describe
talk
it.
about a way to pay for overhead and really not have to,
For sure, yeah. It's one of everything to essentially deliver 10 or 15 or 20 items.
Yeah. Getting 30 people in your store.
And
It has to be a challenge.
And then
but
look
if
at it. How about this spin? You could use the juice concept and that concept to also help promote your 2 other concepts, right?
100%, yeah.
Your med spa and soul space. So it's like,
have your business, have your next event here, have
here,
your next
here's
offsite.
10%
Oh,
off.
no, we do. Yeah. So Pure Fix right now will cater all the events to Soul Space. Unless the event requires more of a fine dining experience, then we go to outside companies, or like the Schwitz night, we'll just do it ourselves. But the kitchen is very multifaceted. Other than a grill, there's no open flame. Everything else could be done there. Yep. By all means, Pure Fixes already has a revenue stream, I think, of about $5,000 per month coming from Soul Space alone.
Amazing.
But if we could expand it out to other event centers,
And we can definitely help you there. I mean, there's some great marketplaces. You got to get on Easy Cater. You have to get on Easy Cater. They just drive demand.
And maybe, not to cut you off, there may be something with the cold pressed juice concept, mixing that into your other partners and having them essentially ones that don't have a drink concept, we can have that be an add-on to their whatever.
100%.
Yep.
You know, what restaurant wouldn't want to add incremental revenue
If
to
it
their
sells.
to their top line?
Yeah,
because
it's such a popular thing, and it's not that it's hard to make, but it does take a lot.
yeah, especially if you're a health and wellness brand, you're promoting wellness. It's like you need to have these healthier options, or like I mean, you should.
I mean, they could even rebrand it.
I will tell you though,
brand, you know?
one thing that you're going to want to do with catering, which you might already know, I don't know how much you guys have talked about this. Make sure your menu items, you don't have everything under the sun for a catering menu.
Yep.
Make sure the catering menu is
Of course,
optimized for delivery. 80%, 90% of your orders are going to be lunch. Your typical menu for the way I'm thinking about business catering or social catering versus what's going on at Soul Space, two different menus, two different customers. So like this is where we could go at length, and I'm sure we will talk after this podcast as well about helping you stand up your catering operation, because it's a lot, even in Cleveland, man, a lot of transactions happening in Cleveland for catering.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. No, that's a location is ideal for it. We're right basically between some of the most expensive, condensed neighborhoods on the residential side, but also downtown Cleveland is it's a few blocks away.
But yeah, I love the idea. I love how you're, I feel like all three of these concepts, what you're doing is you're just promoting wellness.
Yeah.
Is you're letting people be proactive, take, at least giving them the tools and services that they can use if they really want to make their life better and feel better.
Yep.
And in return, you probably perform better. You're probably happier.
Yep. 100%. Productivity is there from an employer standpoint to basically connect with Soul Space. That's the way to go. It's the best possible, attribute you can give to your staff of virtually any company. On an individual level, we're selling wellness. There's nothing better. You're paying for yourself to essentially feel good.
Yep.
And nothing more, nothing less.
So you have companies having events at your place.
Mm-hmm.
Are any companies, we're looking at catering really ends up being an employee benefit.
Yeah.
Right? Could yours be an employee benefit? Some of these companies are paying for memberships for their employees because if you have healthier employees,
Sure,
they're more productive. Everything's just better.
Yes, so you have to prove the concept first. Right now what we're doing is we're making partnerships with different corporations, and we're giving an incentive to just their employees, which will help with both acquisition and retention of their employee staff. So, for example, we give everyone at your company a 10% discount to Soul Space. You guys brought that to your employees. They're going to be more loyal to you. They're going to want to stay here.
Yep.
In return, if they start going, you get healthier, more productive employees. Now, if they start coming a lot, we'll come back to you in a year. Like, hey, guys,
It's working.
start paying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
buy a few memberships.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to wrap up this episode, okay? This has been an incredible. I didn't know anything about this before. Kind of, actually. I can't say that. Didn't know that the trifecta existed, though.
Yep.
How, John and I are entrepreneurs. We're Northeast Ohio based. We know a lot of investors. Like, how would I even go about getting involved with someone like you? Like, is there an email? Is there a website?
No, for sure. So there's 3 sites, one per company. There's a corporate site which kind of describes the overall concept and lists all 3 sites. It's wellnessredefined.net. Otherwise, soulspace.net, NüIQwellness.com, purefix.com. And my personal information is going to be first initial last name at soulspace.net. So it's IPALATNIK. So Palatnik at soulspace.net. We're capital happy, I would say, with our current location. We're doing really well. We've pretty much closed out all raises, but our next locations are, they're in the works. So that's definitely available to be discussed.
I know I'll be sending an email to that address. We do like to close out the episode with one little segment called This or That, or basically you get to pick or choose whatever. I don't know. We don't have any questions here today. I know John probably has some off the top of his head, but I'm going to lead this one off actually. All right, if you're going to go with one juice, you can only have one juice to start your morning. What are you doing?
It's called the Harmony.
Harmony? What's
Yeah.
in it?
So it's a little funny story. So our juice maker and also our partner in Pure Fix, Brandon. When we first met him, he had a previous experience in making cold pressed juices. He had us try this one. It was absolutely amazing. Not sure exactly what's in it, but imagine a orangey pineapple kind of yellow juice with a kick of cayenne. And he called it Bazinga, and he wanted to call it that. Well, I thought, hey, there's no way that word's not trademarked, which it was. So it became Harmony. But it's an amazing juice.
Bazinga.
Yeah, right.
I gotta try one of those. The Harmony.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite car you've ever driven?
Another one outside.
What are we driving out there?
Ferrari 48.
I'm gonna have to come outside a minute and check that thing out. Ferrari, huh?
Yeah.
Just casual driving down the Canton today.
Oh, that's nice.
What else you got in that garage?
Nothing much. Range Rover in that. There's always two.
I've driven a Ferrari once in my life and it was bad ass, man.
Well, let's go to Chick-fil-A.
No. Chick-fil-A is in the penthouse sauna. All right.
Okay.
All right. You can only choose one health remedy: cold plunge, sauna, steam room. What are you doing?
That's a good one.
I'm a sauna.
I was like, this is a no-brainer. Come on,
Yep.
But the good thing is we have the cold plunge inside the sauna, so I get to choose two.
dude. That's
You just
I
go-
never
you
heard
just
of
go
that.
right next.
It's one big room, and there's a door separating them, but the cold plunge room stays at 100 degrees. The sauna stays at 194. But the cool thing is you jump in and out, and the cold plunge room is one giant shower.
Dude, I gotta come check this place
That's
out.
awesome. Yeah, we'll make it happen.
You got any other ones? That's
Favorite business that you're involved in?
Oh,
Or
it's
we're involved in.
I mean, Soul Space is it, but Dion Art, which is the kinetic art company, I mean, they're neck and neck, and they're within each other. So
Yeah, we'll have to show a little clip of that.
it's hard to explain, but
it's
those
incredible.
are
It's like lights that you'd have like in a casino.
these are the feel good, look good businesses that are also geared to be very, very successful, but are also, obviously all business is stressful, but these are very pleasant to be involved in.
Yeah.
you can only recommend or have dinner at one place in Cleveland. What's your spot?
If I didn't see the Standard in Euclid, I would be in danger. So
Dude,
Yeah, still haven't been.
so good.
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of my oldest friends.
So good.
Yeah, it's the best. He's had many restaurants throughout the years, French, Moroccan. He cooks himself. His name is Saeed, but that's the very best we have in Cleveland, in my opinion.
I'm more of like a Fairmount kind of guy.
It's here.
That's
Right.
Fairmount's
You're
great.
about laughing at me. It's
Great.
It's like,
Yeah, I would say
the vegan
right
chicken wings?
behind Standard, the new Fahrenheit, the Rock opened up. He did a phenomenal job there.
I love it.
well, yeah. I mean, it was a pleasure having you on here, man. I'm really excited to go check out your Ferrari. But yeah, we look forward to. Are you guys on LinkedIn or anywhere else? Socials.
Instagram. Yeah, we're on all socials. If you go to the sites, everything's there. So.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, appreciate your time today, and look forward to
Likewise.
following your journey, man.